Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this video series that I've been sharing with you. I hope that you've been getting a lot of value out of this, because not only am I trying to tell you about what the market's doing, but I'm actually taking you out into the field and I'm showing you real life deals that you could be doing too. Now, and I'm also giving you the ability to win that golden ticket. And so I wanted to shoot this video real quick because some of you always say, well, yeah, Zach, it's easy for you to do a deal. You've been doing this forever. But I want to introduce you to two people that were very similar to you watching this that might have had some doubt, maybe some unsurety of what was going on, or they weren't certain about the process, or even if they could do it. Maybe they didn't feel like they had enough education or enough money or enough credit or enough knowledge. Well, let me explain something to you. When I say none of that matters, I mean none of that matters. What really matters is if you take a big, long look and you just believe in you. And so that's what it comes down to. Are you willing to believe in you? And I know sometimes that can be a little tough. So what I want to do is I want to share two stories with you of some people that believed in themselves enough to listen to me and allowed me to take them down a journey to success. So the first story I'm going to share with you is about Scott. And man, Scott's done some amazing things from the time I've interviewed him until now also. He's a great guy, super father, great husband, living life to the fullest. I want to introduce you to Trish. Never forget my first time with Trish. She came to the back of the table at an event and was almost in tears of fear. If this was the right decision. Was she doing the right thing? I'll never forget. I held her and I just said, Trish, if you believe in you, I'll show you the things that will help you get to the life that you want. Now, Trish is an amazing woman. Not only has she believed in herself, and not only does she believe in me, but she went out and dominated and created massive success from this business. And wait till you see her story on where she started and where she is today and the amount of money she's going to make on one project. So check out these interviews real quick. Now remember, I'm not just interviewing them. They're actually going to break down a case study for you on a deal that they did with my help and where they're going now with their deals. So pay attention. I'll see you on the other side of the videos. Bye now. I want you guys to meet Scott Walters. This is another investor about to retire. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But like you know, he had a job, and maybe you have a job, and he had some challenges that he knew wasn't, going in the direction he wanted. He was looking for a different avenue. But I want you to hear Scott's story because, Scott is, he's a great guy, by the way. He's got a great wife and two great kids, and he was really trying to build the future for them, and he knew his job wouldn't get him there. But Scott, can you, for the listeners listening in right now, could you give them an idea, like what was it that made you choose to want to come spend those 3 days on that, have me show you that business model? What was that made you make the decision to work with me?
Yeah, the decision was I have never really been tutored or anything, or been any kind of a workshop to show exactly how to, look at a house, the things that you need to look at, what things you have to look for. So for the educational side, that was a very educational thing because it was an interest that I've had, and I just didn't know what to do. I was afraid to do it.
Oh, so that's a good thing. Yeah, you said something real big right there. You didn't know what to do, so therefore you were afraid to do it. And that's huge. I don't know if you really heard what you said there, but that stops so many people from moving forward in this business. It's not that they don't want to do it, it's the fear prevents them from the lack of knowledge. And so what you're just said there, wow, that was pretty powerful actually, because you knew you wanted to do this. You just knew you knew you didn't know what you didn't know, right?
That is correct. Absolutely.
And so the choice to pick me, because you could have gotten training from anybody, right? So the choice to pick me was why?
I think it was just, I kept getting the mail, and I checked you out, and I just felt comfortable, and just kind of felt comfortable with your message that you had. for me, and the wife will be disgusted, and she says, I think you should do this.
Well,
something that you want to do. And that's why I did it.
That's great. So there was, you just kind of had this sense that I could get you where you wanted to go?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
That's the sense I had, and with your help, it's helped a lot.
Well, right, as they can see on the screen right here, it's helped a lot. So, guys, Scott's been involved. If you classify the number of, doors that he's gone out and been a part of, it's been 20-plus things. He can create about an average income per month right now of about $6,500 when you take in consideration all the deals that he's involved in. And here's the best part. Scott still has a full-time job. So for all of you that hear that, you can do this too, because he only spent per month about 30 hours a month to achieve this. So that's really only about 7.5 hours a week committed to go out and grow this business. Now here's the best part. Since we've met, Scott has put in his portfolio 13 units in his portfolio. Scott, when this whole kind of venture started, did you think you could be bringing in almost $6,500 a month, working about 30 hours a week, and have, close to 13 units in your portfolio?
No, not at all.
Well, that's a very honest answer.
No. With the training I've gotten, I have a lot more confidence in myself now, and I'm not afraid to look at something now, even if it is an ugly looking house. I'm not afraid, and I'm trying to just grow my rental so eventually I can retire from my full-time job.
Yeah, and I think
there's no guarantee.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No guarantee full-time jobs anymore.
No, there's not. There's really not. And I remember when you said that. And I think it's amazing what you do, because I remember we talked and you said, Zach, my first goal is to retire my wife, which you've already done. So she's now stay at home. And you yourself, over the next 12 months, you could be looking at retirement yourself, couldn't you?
Absolutely. And to stay aggressive, and that is definitely the plan. I have a mile for myself. If I'm going to retire me before they retire me.
That's awesome. So would you say those 3 days were life-changing for you?
Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
I mean, for just how to look at a deal now, because I can look at a deal now, run the numbers, and I know the confidence. I know it works.
That's a beautiful thing. Kind of like the deal you guys see on the screen right here. On the left, you can see the before picture. On the right, you can see the after picture of the house, and what an amazing job he did with it. I mean, it's a beautiful home now. And here's what I love the most is he actually even sent us his little statement there. Shows it where it got closed and how $107,000 went back to him. Now, obviously, the $107 is not all profits. So,
no.
No, we wish it was, but it's not.
Yes, it was.
But on this deal, Scott purchased this property around $68,000. He put, probably over $22,000 in the remodel work, and he walked out of there with like an $18,000 check. Now, Scott, tell everybody that $18,000, did that require you to be on that job every day, Monday through Saturday? How did that work for you?
Basically, I stay in contact with my subs. I would check out their work. At the end of the day, I would just drive out there after work to see what's going on and see what I've accomplished. And I just stuck to a schedule, and it was just like clockwork. And I mean, and the beautiful thing about it was this house sold before we even hit the MLS. I sold this house twice before we even hit the MLS.
Wow.
So that was even a beautiful thing about this house. It sold after it was finished. One buyer fell through, another buyer came in, and I think after I finished the house up, I had it sold in 3 weeks.
So from the time you bought it, how long went by before you found that buyer?
Oh my gosh.
A month? Couple of months?
I would say a couple of months.
Wow. So over a 2-month period before that buyer came in and you were able to make $18,000, how much time did you put in realistically over that 2-month period?
I would probably maybe say 30 to 40 hours.
30 to 40 hours. So let's just say it's 35 hours, right? So so Scott, that's $514 an hour. Do you make that at your job right now?
No, no.
Isn't real estate a beautiful thing?
I love real estate.
So listen, and I remember working with you right from the beginning, and where you are today is just so night and day. But like you said, it's the education that overcomes the fear. And now look where you're going, and I see you retiring in 12 months too, and then you're going to be just doing more and more. So, but Scott, here's what I want to just kind of get your insight on. So people that are listening to you right now, they might be on the fence, hey, do I come out and spend 3 days with Zack? And, could it really change my life? Could he really give me the information I'm looking for? If you were to be standing in front of somebody that was asking you, Scott, should I go and spend 3 days with Zack? Should I invest the money, to go out there and learn from Zack? What would you say to that person? And what was it, that on the emotional side that really made you want to do this? And how would you tell someone that this would be a good decision for them?
Well, I would say first is, education is number one. It could change your life. It's so educational. It's hands-on. You see it. But that was the biggest thing that really got me. You saw it. You walked through the houses. You pointed out things that you need to look at. It was just a step-by-step process. And if you just go through the process, as far as I'm concerned, you can't lose.
Yeah.
And first, for the house of Molly was a simple flip, and I wasn't scared. If I had questions, I'd call, and that was a good thing that she was very, if I had a question, you was able to answer the question or what I need to do in a situation.
Right.
So, but just the education and the people that you meet also, because you can learn from other people too besides you.
Yep.
For example. So that's the things. Emotionally. If you go, you're going to go to, it's a long weekend, but you enjoy yourself. It's entertaining, number one, but it's also educational, and it can change your life.
And I think that's what's important is that so many people are trying to change something about their lives, and they've heard the story of Trish, who over 10 years after her experience has done almost 300 deals. They've heard Timmy's story. With Timmy's gone out to do over 200. Ian's done over 100 in 3 years. And now they're able to hear your story. And your story is you're still working a job and doing this on the side. So anyone can do this no matter where you're at from a walk of your life. So, Scott, listen, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with everyone. I really do. And, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And that 12 months will come up real quick for you. So, but thanks for your time, Scott. I want to introduce you to Trish Williams. Hey, Trish, are you with me?
Hi, Zack, I am.
Awesome. Trish, I just can't tell you how excited I am to have you on this call with me because I've got a lot of people that's kind of, watching this whole thing about coming and really learning the business. And I just thought it was important that they actually heard from one of my students that, might have been where they are or might be looking to go where they want to go. And you have definitely become a shining star in the industry. And I just want people to meet you first off, hear your story, and really so that they can understand why you made the decision to work with me. And so that everyone on the call knows Trish is up in Seattle. So Trish, can you tell me a little bit about what was it about when you met me that obviously made that decision for you to want to learn from me or help me build that business for you as in the real estate investing world?
If you'll recall, Zack, I was sitting in a seat in a big seminar room like most of your folks have in the past, and when my husband Greg and I were watching you on stage, your energy level, your positive attitude, and everything that you were presenting was real life, and you were working in the business and you were doing it. If you weren't on the cutting edge of what was going on in the real estate business, you could really get eaten up by sharks, and I didn't want to do that. So I saw you as the life ring to get
Well,
me to where I needed to go.
yeah, I love that. You know, there's always a moment in any business where there's a major shift that happens, and it has to happen for a business to be successful. And sometimes that shift is the person that we bring on to help build our business. And
Oh, big time, because um, some big changes going on there, and I knew that I needed to really step up my game to be, new school, not the old school stuff. And
right.
your marketing ideas that you shared, and just your thinking outside the box, Zach. I felt really confident in.
And obviously it's shown because you've gone out and done over 290 something deals since then. And, you know, big kudos to you for that. I mean, that's highly impressive. I mean, here's my big question. Did you that you would have done almost 300 deals?
Not at all. Not at all. No. I mean, and you talk to, most of the folks out there, and, if they do one or two deals a month, they're happy with that. And it was in the beginning there, when Greg and I were doing only one or two deals a month, but what a life changer that was for us, because
Right.
that brought money in that we weren't getting from anywhere else doing the Zach. We knew, and Greg and I realized that, Social Security probably isn't going to be there for us, and the government isn't going to take care of us very well. So we had to make some changes, and we wanted to make sure that we put a system in place. And like I said before, your automation and the way you teach systems and all the time blocking, nobody else teaches that.
Yeah, and you know, and that's kind of a shame because, you know, at the end of the day, it's really up to the educator to really care about their students and their success. Because for me, it's really about touching lives, and then those lives touch other lives. And so, and I'm just happy for you. I mean, because you're doing almost 30 deals a year right now. You're averaging about $36,000 a month. I mean, did you think you'd be making
Yeah.
close to a $500,000 a year through real estate?
Yeah, and you know a little bit about my personal life, Zach. Is you know, uh, gosh, about 3 years ago, Greg and I began to take care of our grandson, and now we are one of the 67% of the grandparents out there supporting their grandchildren in one way or another. And even with having a little 4-year-old running around, I'm still able to keep those numbers where they're at on the screen here because of the fact that I've got what I call a plug and play.
Yeah.
We've put the automation into practice, and again, I can't thank you enough for being there on Sundays when Greg and I have a question, and we give you a call, and there you are, or you're texting me back and forth and helping out. So
Right.
there's not a lot of these other folks out there that are willing to do that. So thank you
Yeah.
for that, Zach.
No, and you're welcome. I mean, you know, it goes back to, you know, we're always afraid to take that next chance in our life or the fear of the unknown. But, you know, when you have the right person that actually cares, that knows, willing to support you, give you the knowledge to go
Yep.
out and do it, it really boils down to anything's possible. So, and I think that's
Yeah.
proven right here on your next big project. You know, because your next big project,
Yes.
you're on a
Yes.
109 mixed-use unit building, waterfront, with a profit of over $9 million. Tell them about this project.
Yes. Yeah, this is the exciting one, and this is you always telling me, go outside your box, get outside your comfort zone, and it's okay, try it. So I met a developer here about this time last year, and he has a vision for a city right near us where we live. And Greg and I have made a lot of money in this business revitalizing neighborhoods. So we've just kind of supersized it. So I learned about doing buying a bunch of separate lots and getting all that ready, and we've gone outside of our comfort zone, I'd say tenfold. Instead of looking at 60, 80,000, 100,000 in rehab on a single family, the project's total cost is about 19 million, and after stabilization, we're looking to make about $9 million on that, and that'll probably be another 2 years. So, you know, there's work involved. We're doing all kinds of meetings, learning about big construction. I have great engineers and architects that we're working with, and my why in this business, because when you go through and do these kinds of numbers, my why has always been family, and the big why right now is our grandson. So we're even injecting some little things into the building of this apartment complex that will have our grandson's name on it and kind of go forward from there. So
that's
you
awesome.
know, when you do these kinds of things, you have to have a strong why. And that's another thing that you taught me to do, is keep that why in front of me so that you can go forward and do the impossible, right?
No, and that's totally true. I mean, I think when we have the right leader, the right educator, the right person with us, I mean, anything's possible. And just so that everyone can understand, Trish didn't start with, $19 million projects. She started like all of you, building that first deal, getting to that second deal. I just want you guys to understand what could happen in 10 years, from sticking to this business. And some of you on this call right now, you're looking at this and saying, man, if I just had 200,000, I'd be okay. Well, here's the thing. You can do that in a year. It's easy. I want to show you a deal that Trish did. This would be like a starter type deal where you can see the before and the after. The best part about this deal is Trish bought this for $32,000 and it's worth with an ARV of 270. This is the type of stuff you guys can go after. This is the type of stuff that we're going to show you how to. This is the type of stuff that I want you guys focused on to get started when you're out there going. So even though Trish has these $9 million profit deals, I can promise you Trish also has these types of deals going on a consistent basis as well. So Trish, tell us a little bit about this deal, if you don't mind spending a couple of minutes on it.
Now, Edwards Court is probably our most atypical project that my husband Greg and I got involved in, based upon not relying on a realtor and using Zack's system and his marketing that he taught us to do for off-market deals. And we started talking with this seller, and as you look at the picture there on the right-hand side, it doesn't do it justice. It was so horrible, I cannot begin to tell you. And you couldn't even climb up and down those stairs. They were so rickety.
Wow.
And that first balcony was almost 10 inches off center. And so we lifted this place, and we had a major rehab to do on this. But I tell you, I get really excited. I walk into these things and I'm thinking, okay, this is the one I want. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. So we contacted the seller. We found out what was going on. I implemented all these tactics that Zack taught me and did a lot of role playing with me. They were trying to get $50,000 for this property, and I negotiated them down to $32,700. Our rehab cost, we were at 55, and I think the actual came in at 58. So we were only 3,000 off, which was great. And our closing costs were higher because I actually had to give the seller some money to get out of the deal, but I was okay with it. And the cool thing is, with the holding cost, the construction, we calculated 12 months, but we got this completely rehabbed in 9 months. And a lot of that is because where I live up here in the Seattle area, as you all know, it rains here. So we have a season where you have to get certain things done. When we first looked at this, the ARV on it was only about 200, 220. So the market details that I have on there are the current market values. And I just got a report a couple days ago. We've had a lot of our properties being appraised because of the big project we're in. And I'm being told I could sell this for $325 right now. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Well, here's the beauty, though. If you add this thing up, if you add all your fees, your purchase price, your rehab, and what the ARV was back then, that's $105,000 in equity. And with the new appraisal, that's like $150,000 of equity on a property that you bought for $32,000 because you knew how to go out and find sellers that weren't on the MLS. You knew how to communicate with them. You knew how to run your numbers. You knew how to negotiate. So that's a beautiful thing. So let me ask you this. Where did the money come from? Did you actually use your own money, or did you use somebody else's money on this deal?
Zach, Greg and I never use our own money.
Love it. You listen well then.
Yeah. So this property was one of our most favorite private money people, and we have such a great relationship with this private money person because they have seen quite a few of these before and afters that look pretty similar to this, and we've built that confidence with them. But this private money lender is always going, okay, you guys have just paid me off. Where's the next one? Where's the next one? So, I mean, he keeps that fire in our basement for us.
And so here's something. Somebody listening to this may go, oh, well, that's how they did it. They had private money. I don't have private money. We always have that negative person. But I'll ask you a question, Trish. Did you have a whole bunch of private money when you started?
No, I had to use hard money, Zach.
Right. You had to go out there and build it on your own. We had to work together, show you avenues, where to go, who to communicate to. So I want everyone to know that, yes, Trish uses private money now, but she started just like all of you. She had to go out and build the business just like you're going to have to do. And that's why I want you guys to come hang out with me for 3 days, because I can show you all this. So, Trish, before I let you go here, I love talking to you. You're always surprising me with your new stuff. What's one or two or three things that, if let's just say it was you sitting on the other side of this, watching this, really looking at the opportunity to come work with me, and maybe there's a little doubt, or maybe there's a little insecurity there of like, will this work for me? What would you say to somebody if you were in front of them, if they had the opportunity to come, spend 3 days with me and learn from me?
I would tell these folks, don't hesitate. Jump to the front of the line as fast as you can. If you're serious about wanting to make a change, a positive change in your life, Zach is the way to go. He's an investor in this business. You're on the cutting edge, and he does things from a different perspective than most of these other folks are out there doing. So the sincerity, I mean, I've seen Zach with his family, I've seen The Office, you guys, and he's the real deal. And he's going to test you, he's going to push you, and I can't tell you how many times Zach would tell me to do something, I didn't do it, there was a consequence, obviously, and I learned a lesson, but I only did it once. And he's just the real deal. So jump to the head of the line, you guys. I have a sandbox that everybody teases me about because Greg and I have our lifestyle has changed immensely because of this man, and I would have never have thought 10 years ago that I'd be building 109 units, and if it wasn't for Zach, I wouldn't be where I am today. So we are forever grateful for him, and he's the reason that my family generations are going to have a nice life. So thank you again, Zach.
Oh, Trish, I love you so much. That's awesome. Guys, you've heard it from Trish. So, Trish, thanks again for being on the call.
Well, there you go. I told you those two stories were going to be absolutely amazing, right? I mean, think about where Scott is today, the confidence, the reassurance, making $18,000 on his first deal. I mean, think about what that would do for you and how it's changed his life and the nice things he said about me. I mean, those were heartwarming at moments, right? Just to know that I have the power and the ability to go out and touch people's lives like that. And then you get to hear the story from Trish. What an amazing woman that overcame so many obstacles and challenges to become a strong, independent woman in her life and for her family. To be able to go out and do things she's never done before because she took the belief in herself and trusted in the process in which I was able to help her with.
That says a lot about someone. That is the same type of journey I want you to go on. And now think about where Trish is today. She's in the middle of doing a $9 million profit deal. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're going to go out and do a $9 million deal tomorrow, but I'm saying the momentum gets started today. And you can have that same momentum, and I want to help you do that. One of the great things that Trish said was forever grateful, right? Forever grateful. Like, that says so much to me that I was able to touch her and her family's life just simply because I was willing to share my information that has made me so successful and so many other investors out there like that you can become. I was able to share that with her, and she was able to apply that and change her life. I mean, that's great to hear her say that. I also loved how she said, if you get a chance to spend 3 days with me, jump to the front of the line, right? Well, the VIP golds are sold out, by the way, but you still can get to the front of the line by simply taking action today. Take the action that will lead you to the journey that you want to go. Be like Scott and be like Trish and so many other people that I've helped in this journey to become real estate investors. And it simply started with the belief in themselves and then understanding that I can help them and I can help you. So I encourage you to take that action in your life. Come spend 3 days with me. Let me show you what the market is doing and how you can put your footprint in this wealth of information and money that can be made in today's market. And that simply starts by clicking on the link below to get registered for our event. Get registered to come out and spend this time, and I promise you, you'll be amazed at how easy this can really be when you simplify the process, understand what you're doing, and have the right team that can support you to grow your business. I hope that you've enjoyed all of this free video training I've sent to you, from me helping you understand the market, to really helping you see what deals look like in today's market, to sharing 2 amazing stories with you on how you can become successful just like they can. But you've got to take some action. Time's running out, guys. We are running out of seats. And you know that as well as I do. I've told you that, and I'm here to tell you that if you will believe in your process and let me show you the systems and the things that are working in today's market, you'll never look back. You'll realize that today was the day that set you on a journey to change everything for you. So, welcome to the family. Come to our freedomfromflipping.com event. Freedom from Flipping is where you'll be. That is May 12th through the 14th. I'm encouraged to see you there. I'm excited to shake your hand. I'm waiting for all your questions that you have, and I'm also excited to watch you succeed at the event. You'll be surprised at what you'll be doing in 3 days by spending it with me. Zack Childress here. I'll see you at the Freedom from Flipping event. Bye now.